If this year has felt harder than it needed to be, if you felt emotionally drained, frustrated with people you care about, or like you're carrying responsibility that isn't really yours, this reading is going to show you why. What came up is that 2025 hasn't been difficult because you're doing something wrong. It's been difficult because you've been trying to learn a very specific lesson, one that you're still working on. And once you see what that lesson is, things are going to make a lot more sense. You'll be able to learn it faster, which will then make the rest of this year and how you move into 2026 way easier. Hi, it's Karen from Soul Driven Tarot. Welcome back. This channel is all about practical spiritual guidance, tarot readings that actually help you understand what's happening beneath the surface and give you clarity on what to do next. Today's reading is for anyone who feels like 2025 has been heavier than expected. Not necessarily chaotic, but emotionally demanding. Let's have a look at why. In this reading, I pulled cards to answer 7 specific questions, including why this year has felt so challenging, what lesson you may still be resisting, what's been blocking you from learning it, and what you need to release now so that you don't carry it into 2026. The 7th card in particular shows how your life actually starts to feel once this lesson is learned, and it's very different from how things have been. So if you've found this year tough, you've been feeling stuck, reactive, or emotionally exhausted, you're going to want to watch this all the way through. The first question is, why has this year been so hard? And for that, I get the Page of Swords. What I'm seeing here is that this year hasn't been hard because of what's happened to you. It's been hard because of how much responsibility you've been carrying for other people. You've been a little on your soapbox, trying to convince others about your beliefs and your knowledge. You're seeing people in your life struggling, and you're determined to be the one to come in and save the day and wipe all their troubles away. What you're missing, though, is it's okay to let them believe what they want to believe. While you might be able to see the mistakes they're making that are making them struggle, unless they're ready to change, they simply won't. And any unsolicited advice you give will fall on deaf ears. At the end of the day, everyone is here to learn what they came to learn. And that timing of when is not yours to control. The second question is, what lesson am I missing? And for that, I get the 7 of Swords. This is the heart of the reading, the actual lesson of the year, and it works with the previous card. If someone asks for help, then help them. Share your knowledge with them. Leave those seeds behind for them to grow or be ignored. Either way, it's up to them. Once they're ready, they'll see it and change, but it's their choice as to when. Your lesson is one of letting go. Instead of trying to make them understand what you're trying to tell them, you also need to stop worrying about things that, frankly, aren't your business. All you can do is love them enough to leave the ideas when they specifically ask for help, and then let them make their own choices from there. Doing anything else means you're essentially taking away their opportunity to learn the lesson they're currently going through. Because when you insist somebody understands before they're ready, you're not helping. You're stealing their chance to learn the lesson they came here to learn. The third question is, what's been blocking me from learning this lesson? And why am I scared to learn it? For that, I get the 9 of Swords. This is where your self-worth and identity gets tangled up with being the helpful one. It's all about the fear of the unknown, of having your worth tied to how much you help others. What does it say about you if you're not actively helping others? Can you live with yourself if you see someone struggling and you're not telling them what they need to do to get through it? It can be tough watching someone you love struggle, especially when you can see exactly why they're struggling and what would get them out of it. But look at it like this. What if as a little kid your parents had been so determined to stop you from falling and struggling that they continuously held your hand so you were okay? Do you think you'd ever have learned how to walk? No, you wouldn't. We learn at least partly by making mistakes and learning what not to do. The people you're worried about are simply in that phase of learning what not to do to learn their current lesson. But if you butt in without them asking for help, you're taking that lesson away from them. And what that means is they'll find another, usually harder, way of learning it for themselves in the future. In other words, you're actually making things worse for them in the long run. So you need to unlink your self-worth from being the identity of that helpful person who fixes, saves, and corrects others. The fourth question is, what am I missing out on that's on the other side of this lesson? And for that, I have the Hangman. This card shows what life will feel like once you fully get this lesson. Essentially, it's going to be a big breakthrough, which will make you feel more enlightened, calmer, and more reflective of what's going on in your life, instead of being super reactive to things and constantly being triggered, which, let's face it, will be a very nice change from what this year has given us. We're going through that last push to the big breakthrough, and this shows us how great that breakthrough is going to feel once we get it. If you're curious what other breakthrough signs there are, I actually have a video specifically called The 7 Spiritual Breakthrough Signs, Even If Things Feel Hopeless. I will put the link in the description below if you want to check it out. The fifth question is, what do I need to release now so I don't carry it into 2026? And for that, we have the Two of Swords reversed. You need to stop being focused outward on everyone else's lessons and instead turn inwards to learn your own. It's time to take off the blindfold, keeping you from seeing what you're doing and splitting your focus between your own growth and other people's growth. The fastest way to help those you love is to grow your own consciousness, because then they'll see you being happier, less triggered, and basically where they'd like to be, and that will give them the opening to ask, how did you do it? Could you help me get there too? That's when you can share what you've learned and help them grow past their challenges, because now they're actually ready to do it. So what you need to do is release your focus on others, because to help them, the biggest thing you can do is grow yourself first. The sixth question is, what's the next step that's going to help me learn this lesson? For this, I've got the Two of Wands reversed. This lesson will show up over and over again until you release it. That's just how lessons work. What you're looking out for is when you find yourself trying to plan out exactly what you want to see, instead of just creating a picture in your head of what you want, letting it help you feel excited, and then releasing the insistence on the outcome. So the next time you find yourself demanding a specific outcome from the universe, what's happening is this lesson has popped up again. It's showing you it's ready to be cleared, and all you need to do is remember that you have to let go of that insistence on the exact outcome, because what your conscious mind is defining as the outcome might be so limited compared to what your higher self wants you to get that you're actually sabotaging yourself by insisting on exact details. So get yourself into an excited state and then let it go. Know that now you've released the block from the previous Two of Swords reversed, you will bring in what you want, or most likely something a whole lot better. The seventh question is, what will the outcome be if I stop resisting? And for this, we have the Queen of Swords reversed. I'm getting you'll be less insistent on following exact steps and a lot more in the flow, more forgiving instead of demanding, less worried about how things look, and happier just to let things be while you follow your inner guidance instead of strict, defined steps. Your life will basically be steadier with less storms, less roller coaster moments, and more tranquility, more trust in your guidance, and more flow. I'd love to know, did this lesson resonate for you? If so, leave a comment below with any aha moments you got as you were listening. I'd love to hear them. And if you want to know about the other breakthrough signs, my video, 7 Spiritual Breakthrough Signs, Even If Things Feel Hopeless, is linked below in the description. If this kind of practical tarot and spiritual guidance helps you, hit subscribe so you don't miss future readings. See you in the next video.